mobbing, organized harassment, and gangstalking. My name is Jalen Michael Sims, and I am a victim of organized harassment and gangstalking. It started back in 2022 at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, as far as I know. And the harassment started the day my Razor kick scooter was stolen from Peabody Park on UNCG's campus. People on the third floor of Bailey Hall started opening and closing their doors repeatedly, at times referencing my Instagram username, posts, follower, and following counts. Furthermore, student staff, campus police, and some type of plainclothes safety patrol would follow me around campus and try to provoke reactions out of me. I wore a mask because my grandmother asked me to, and people would intentionally cough twice in my face, seemingly to mimic the sounds the people on the third floor of Bailey Hall were using to harass me. In addition, I was falsely accused of following women around campus, despite the fact that I had a schedule and rode my kick scooter everywhere, so no one could accuse me of following them because I rode on the street and ahead of everyone. When I would go to the caf, women would get up when they saw me coming to make it seem like I was following them when I was going to the bike rack to unlock my scooter before I just started bringing it into the caf. Another time I was going to the caf, and a light-skinned guy in one of my art classes blocked me before I could go up the stairs and asked me if I worked at the caf, because he likely thought that I was following a woman who was in front of me that wasn't even going to the caf, and that I was the freaking caf worker that was following and harassing women. Another time I went to the EUC dining hall, and a woman tried to get in front of me as I walked to the door to make it seem like I was following her, but she couldn't keep up with me, and I made it to the door first, and when she got to the door, she just turned around in front of the EUC desk to make it seem like I did something to her. Another time I carried a ladder from a UNCG truck to the Quad Police Tower, and a fat blonde woman and her child tried to walk beside me like the person I previously mentioned, and that I was likely taken out of context to falsely accuse me of trying to meet up with a minor, because that was the only time I was around any children on campus. Based on this, a group of people were trying to falsely accuse me of being a stalker, to the point of trying to engineer fake situations to ruin my reputation and sabotage me. When I moved back home, the harassment took the form of people driving past my grandmother's house loudly, closing vehicle doors, starting lawnmowers, and starting and stopping outdoor HVAC fans, at times referencing my social media, Nazi and white supremacist numeric hate symbols, the 445 from EDP 445, an infamous child predator, the number 86, which is Bartok for removing someone, and 911 and 12 as references to the police. In the fall of 2023, someone began to torture me with a device that can make you feel vibrations at a distance and through walls. This device is used to prevent me from getting more than 3 hours of sleep at once by making my bed vibrate to wake me up, at times following the same pattern as the other forms of harassment I've been experiencing. In the fall of 2025, someone started using a remote device to torture me using painful sensations, including muscle contraction and pain similar to being stabbed with a needle or being pinched hard, also at times following the same pattern as the other forms of harassment. When I first did research into what was going on, the first thing that came up was workplace harassment and mobbing. I wasn't a UNCG employee, but the tactics were similar to what I experienced at UNCG. Lindsay Rowland, in the 2022 article titled "Mobbing," defines mobbing as the bullying of an individual by a group. Rowland goes on further to state that the goal is to remove someone from an environment using mental and emotional stress using a variety of tactics. The key difference is my grandmother transferred me to another college, but the mobbing behavior continued through neighbors, local first responders, and businesses, etc. This would indicate that whatever false allegations were spread around UNCG are serious and also being spread around my hometown and beyond. Based on my numeric harassment, someone likely falsely accused me of being a Nazi and a pedophile, but haven't made any public accusations or have any evidence. If the accusations were public, I would be able to sue for defamation, so they keep the allegations a secret and spread them to everyone around, so there's no one I can go to seek justice. I have reported this to government agencies, civil and human rights organizations, and lawyers, a journalist, and the United Nations, but none of them will help, and the United States government and law enforcement is involved, and the United Nations are likely involved, or at least complicit. This is up to us victims and our supporters to end this as that some like defamation, harassment, and torture program by protesting these crimes against humanity.